Welcome to the ninth experiment of electrical machines. In this experiment, we are going to perform the parallel operation of two single-phase transformer. So let us see the objective of the parallel operation. So we have two single-phase transformer and we have to do the parallel operation of the transformer. Now, why do the parallel operation of transformer is required and what are the essential conditions that fulfill the parallel operation that we are going to see. So first we will see the nameplate details of the two transformer. So there are two transformer 1 and transformer 2. They are both of single phase. So two single phase transformer we have taken of one transformer is of 1 kVA rating and other is of 2 kVA rating. Both are of high voltage 230 volt and the low voltage is 115 volt. So we can say that the transformer is 115 oblique 230 volt as the step up transformer. The high voltage current is 4.34 ampere. So corresponding to 4.34 is for the transformer 1 the high voltage current, and for transformer 2 it is 8.6 ampere, and for the low voltage current we have 8.69 ampere on the transformer 1 side and 17.3 for the transformer 2 side. So both winding of the transformer are of core type transformer. Now to perform this test, we will be requiring two voltmeter, one ammeter, one wattmeter, one variac, and one load, that is resistive load. So the voltmeters are of 300 volt and 600 volt, whereas the ammeter can be is of 20 ampere, the maximum current rating. The power measurement is done through an wattmeter, which is of rating of 150 oblique 300 volt 20 ampere, and three wattmeters are required, three ammeters is required, and one voltmeter is required. So the variac that is used to change the voltage slowly is of the range 0 to 240 volt and 20 ampere. So one variac is required and one load is required of 20 ampere, one number. So we know that in the theory, the transformer is the most vital and equally expensive equipment in a power system, and as a result of the load growth in the service area, we know the demand of power is increasing and existing transformer may not be able to withstand the demand. So as the demand increases, only one transformer may not be sufficient to provide the power during the peak hours without exceeding its long-term MVA rating. So we need to increase the MVA rating of the transformer to meet the power demand. So operating a transformer in such a fashion would cause overheating and degrade its expected life. So if you are using a single transformer and the power demand has increased, then what will happen that over a time the transformer will heat up and its life will decrease. In such cases, instead of commissioning an entirely new higher capacity unit, a more viable alternative exists in smaller unit in parallel to the complement to the existing one. So instead of bringing a new transformer of higher capacity, what we do is that we take some smaller unit of the transformer and put in parallel with the existing unit. So in other words, what we can say is that a new smaller capacity transformer can be connected in parallel to the existing one. So whatever the existing transformer we have, we connect one transformer in parallel with the existing transformer to meet the large peak load that generally arise during the and increasing the burden of the transformer. During the light load condition, the additive capacity can kept offline. So whenever the load demand decreases, then what we will do is that the transformer that is brought into in parallel will be switched off so that it is not being used. To successfully operate the transformer in parallel, certain rules must be followed. So it is not like that we are going to connect the second transformer with the first one and we have to bring both the transformer in parallel with certain rules to be followed, and that is the purpose of today's experiment. So let us see the requirement of parallel operation. So when two transformers, so here we can see that there are transformer 1 and transformer 2 which is connected to meet a load on the transformer, Both are of single phase transformer. So this is single phase transformer and this is single phase transformer. So two transformers will be connected to the parallel to meet a load. Then there are certain conditions or the prerequisite that must be filled up. The first requisite is related with polarity. So polarity of the primary and secondary terminal of the two transformer should be the same. So we can see that there are two transformer 1 and 2 whose polarity with respect to the primary side and the secondary side. So this side is primary, which is connected to the source, and this side is secondary, which is connected to the load. Both polarity must be the same. Second is no load primary and secondary voltage of the two transformers should match closely in magnitude as well as in phase. So when load is not there, it is a condition of no load condition. Then the primary and secondary voltage. So when whatever the voltage is there in the primary side and secondary side for the two transformer should be equal in terms of the magnitude as well as in terms of the phase. Third condition is per unit impedance of the two transformer on their respective base must be equal to the transformer have to share the load in proportion to the rating. So if we estimate the per unit impedance of the two transformer on its own respective base, then it should be equal because it has to share the load in proportion to the rating. So these three conditions, which are known as the prerequisite for the parallel operation, must be satisfied so that suitable parallel operation of the transformer can be done. Now here, if you draw the equivalent circuit of the parallel operation, so we can see that this is a transformer 1 and this is transformer 2. So transformer 1 will have a resistance and a reactance. Transformer 2 will have a resistance and reactance, and since it is a parallel operation, the total source current will be divided into 2 and then it will be added up to give the load current. So load current will be the sum of the two current which is flowing through the two transformer because they are in parallel. So parallel circuit, we know there will be a division of the current, and we can easily find what is the current I1 and I2 using the parallel division rule. So I1 is basically Z2 into IL divided by the total impedance Z1 plus Z2, whereas I2 is Z1 into IL divided by the total impedance. So Z is basically the impedance of the circuit of a transformer, that is a combination of the complex quantities of resistance and the reactance. Now to meet the prerequisite, what will have the I1 by I2 will be equal to Z2 by Z1. This prerequisite has to be maintained so that the load sharing can be done. Also, if you see that the complex power of the two transformer S1 by S2 will be equal to I1 V1 conjugate by I2 V2 conjugate. So it means that if we divide the complex power S1 by S2, we'll get is equal to magnitude of current reciprocal I1 by I2 and impedance Z2 by Z1 should be equal to 1. So these particular conditions need to be maintained so that efficient parallel operation of the transformer can be done. Now coming to the circuit diagram, we see that there are two transformer, transformer 1 and transformer 2, both are single phase and has to be connected in parallel. So these transformer 1 and 2 whose polarities on the primary side and secondary side are equal, then using a single phase variac which is connected on the primary side of the transformer, a voltage of the single phase, that is 230 volt 50 hertz supply, will be slowly varied so that the secondary voltage develops in the transformer. On the secondary side, if you see, there is a multifunction meter connected on both the transformer, so that we can measure the current, voltage and the power on the secondary side, and we can measure the load voltage and the load current. So we will see the circuit connection and we will be seeing how to do the measurement. So we have to, along with that, we have to perform a short circuit test on the transformer, which is the experiment number 10th also. So on the low voltage side, we are going to short the transformer, whereas on the high voltage side, we connect all the measuring instrument, whether it is ammeter, voltmeter or wattmeter, and we measure the short circuit current and short circuit voltage and short circuit power. So three things we measure by performing the short circuit test. So this is the panel for the parallel operation of the two single phase transformers. So we can see here you have two single phase transformer, and we have these two multifunction meters are connected. So the transformer is 230 by 115 volt. So we can connect the primary side to be 230 volt or 115 volt. Any side we can make to be primary and other side will be secondary. So we have a variac here. So this is your variac, which is used to slowly change the voltage. And then we can measure the quantities using the multifunction meter, ammeter, and the voltmeters. So if you do the circuit connection as per the given circuit, and this is the load whatever is connected, so we can see the bulb is there, and each knob by turning we can change the load of the transformer up to 20 ampere. So that is the maximum current rating of the transformer. So we have to perform the circuit connection as given in the circuit diagram, and then after doing the circuit connection for the two single phase transformer which is satisfying the requirement and performing the short circuit test, all the procedure that is being given we have to follow. So some of the procedure I will be just reading out that connections are made according to the circuit diagram. Second is single phase variac should be minimum at the output position. So the variac has to be in the minimum, and then it has to be slowly turned so that the voltage slowly gathers up. And switch on the single phase supply and then change the variac till the voltage across the switch should be 0, then close the switch. Then you measure the voltmeter does not read 0 because the switch is not closed, so voltmeter will be reading will not read 0. Interchange the terminal of the secondary of one transformer and repeat the step 3. So here you can see that in this diagram, so we have this one, we have a switch which is connected. So this switch will be closed only when the voltage is shown on the secondary side is 0. Otherwise the switch has to be kept open. Once the voltage is 0, then only you close the switch to do the measurement. And then on closing the switch, you try to measure the voltage, current, and the power with the help of the multifunction meter. Then when this part of the 1 to 5 is during the experimentation, and when the experimentation is over, reduce the load of the transformer and bring back the variac in the minimum position. These are all precautionary measures so that nothing can be burned out. So you reduce the load and bring the variac to the minimum position, and then you perform the short circuit test. So let us see the observation table. So you have to measure the voltage, current, and power. So what is the applied voltage and what is the applied frequency? We know the applied frequency will be 50 Hertz and the applied voltage, since it is a single phase, so it will be 230 volt that will be giving. So transformer, we will be doing some measurement 1, 2, and 3. So what is the input current and input voltage, and corresponding what is the input current and input voltage for the two transformer 1 and 2. Now for the output, we measure the load voltage, load current, load power, and the sum of the input current and sum of the input power. And then we perform the short circuit or two transformer. So what is the short circuit voltage, short circuit current, and short circuit power? So this we are going to measure for transformer 1 and transformer 2. So this part is for transformer 2, this part is for transformer 1. Then we do the calculation now. So in what is the calculation that we need to do? So the measured and estimated KVA load and power factor of the transformer we need to do. Applied voltage we have to note down, and Z1 and Z2 are the impedance of the transformer 1 and 2. Then using Z1 and Z2 in equation and how load is shared, that we have to obtain. So the KVA output, that is the power output, complex power output, is the product of the load voltage and the load current, and the different load conditions we are going to take. So half load condition, 1/4 load, 3/4 load, and the full load condition. So the load condition will be measured in terms of the maximum current rating or the power rating, and the current we have to measure across the load. So what is transformer 1 kVA load which is measured and estimated? So measured we have done the experimentation, and estimate you have to do for the kVA and the load condition. Power factor, what is the measured and estimated for transformer 1 and transformer 2. So whatever we are going to do for transformer 1 case, the same thing we are going to do for transformer 2. We try to measure the kVA load and power factor both for the measured and estimated case. Now you calculate the R equivalent, X equivalent and Z equivalent for both transformer, similarly to what we have done for the experiment number 10. So you follow experiment number 10 to do the short circuit test and calculation of power factor for both transformer under different load conditions. So when load changes, obviously the power factor will change because there will be change in the current and voltage angle. Now just write the result. Compare the load distribution of both transformer, current, active power and reactive power with respect to series parameter of the transformer, and compare the power factor of both the transformer. So this is the objective of the ninth experiment. We are going to perform the parallel operation of the transformers, and then we obtain the kVA load and the power factor. Now you are going to in a position to answer the following questions. What is the significance of the polarity of the transformer winding? What is the effect of difference in the voltage rating of the secondaries? What are the essential and desirable conditions for parallel operation of transformers? So this complete the ninth experiment on electrical machines. You can check the circuit connections. Here the theory has been explained and what is the background and what type of calculations you have to do. Thank you for now.